What's up? Alright, so I've never made one of these before. At least a YouTube video, anyway. But I'm bored. And my baby's asleep. Well, both of them. Let's see. That's one. And my actual baby. So my husband is in the military, and they decided that they were gonna take him and do a field exercise for 2 days. So he's gone. He left at 5 this morning. He works all the time. This is something I'll never understand. People give people who aren't infantry and don't deploy all kinds of crap in the military, saying they don't work as hard or they don't do as much. It's total bullshit. Let me tell you why. My husband works his ass off. He really does. And it's insane the amount of hours he works. Military takes time away from your family. You have no social life. You basically, if you have a family and you're in the military, you really don't have time for much else. If you're married to the type of person I am. Like, I feel like if you have a family, you shouldn't be going out all the time. You shouldn't be going and partying and drinking and coming home drunk. And my husband respects that. And so he doesn't do it. I mean, he'll do it occasionally, but not often, like a lot of other guys in the military. It sucks. It really does. I took for granted the fact that he's non-deployable at this point, because they're getting ready to change his job anyway. And so I'm sitting here like thinking about it and thinking about how there are women and men who will cheat on their spouse while they're deployed, or even for 2 days gone at a field exercise. Those people all of them need to be arrested or fucking just hurt. I don't like people like that. Cheating in general is wrong, but cheating on a soldier who is away at war or doing their job, like, you married them. You knew that this was what your life was going to be like. So what the fuck, really? How can you sit there and complain about it if you knew? I mean, yeah, it sucks that they're not around as much as someone else would be, but you chose that man or that woman to marry, and you pledged yourself to them, and the fact that you could even think about cheating on them, let alone actually doing it, is ridiculous. The military has all kinds of training that they have to go through to deal with that type of stuff. And it's gotta suck for them. It really does. My husband comes home and he tells me how miserable it is that they have to do all kinds of sensitivity training and all kinds of suicide awareness training and shit like that. And part of the training they're made to do is the training on how to deal with spouse issues, or with another soldier whose spouse is causing them issues. And I feel like if your significant other is in the military, you need to be a little extra sensitive and a little extra attentive too, because they're going to come home and their hours are all fucked up all over the place. They're going to come home and they're going to be irritated or sad or stressed. A lot of stress that I didn't even realize. So, you know, when they come home and you're like, no, you're not here enough, or some other kind of bullshit, you gotta remember that it's not their fault. Yes, they did sign up for this kind of life, but so did you. You really did. And so you gotta deal with it just like they do. And if they can deal with it in the manner that they do, you can go a month or two without fucking around on them. It's ridiculous. You know? And the women will, or the men even, will be like, well, I needed comfort and you weren't there. Like, get the fuck over yourself. Grow up. Seriously, grow up. And get your life together and get yourself a dog. I couldn't imagine cheating on my husband. I really couldn't. The men and women in the military, no, they're not all saints, and they're not all good people, but they have tough jobs. They really do. Can you imagine somebody coming at you and being like, you got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and come out and exercise for an hour. Then you got to go to work for 12 hours. My husband has 12-hour shifts. It sucks. It really does, especially having a 6-month-old baby. But he gets it done. He really does. Like, his lack of sleep must be awful for him. And as a spouse, you got to be supportive. And I know it's hard. It really is. It's tough to be that way if you don't come from a military background. But, shit. I mean, why did you get married if you're just gonna ruin someone else's life? And that's what cheating does. It ruins people's lives. I can't imagine. I really cannot imagine what is going through those motherfuckers' heads who are like, well, my husband or wife isn't home. Let me go fuck somebody else. Like, why? Why? For all that, just leave them. Really. Because it's a lot easier, I'm sure, than cheating. Because you know what? They get arrested if they do it. What happens to you? You just hurt that person. For no good reason. And that just makes you awful. And a terrible human being. Who doesn't deserve love. I mean, I guess that's just my opinion about it. But, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It really is. Don't hurt these people. They gotta deal with enough bullshit as it is. If you're just gonna cheat on them, don't even bother. You know? Alrighty.